Hi Ezra, this is Rabbi Yaron Reuven. Just wanted to give you a little bit of insight on Shabbat that your Bezat Hashem going to take on. On one hand, you'll notice tomorrow morning you're going to say Tfilat Shachrit for Shabbat. And on the Hamidah section, it says, V'shamru bnei Yisrael et Shabbat, la'asot et Shabbat dorotam brit olam. Beni uben bnei Yisrael, ot I le'olam. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, the children of Israel keep the Shabbat to make Shabbat an eternal covenant for their generations between me and the children of Israel. A sign. It's forever. Meaning that when a person keeps Shabbat, he's in essence fulfilling the agreement that was already made between Am Yisrael and HaKadosh Baruch Hu 3,300 years ago, where HaKadosh Baruch Hu promises that if you are part of my nation, you're the chosen one, I'll always take care of you, no matter what. The goyim won't be able to touch you. Everything that happens in the world to a Jew is a special ashgacha pratit from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, very different than from the rest of the nations. Very different from the rest of the nations. So much so that despite all of the Holocaust and the pogroms and the inquisitions and the anti-Semitism, you see that all of those countries, all of those civilizations that tried to destroy Am Yisrael, these nations, all of them are gone. But Am Yisrael, Baruch Hashem, Am Yisrael Chai. So Kadosh Baruch Hu says, no matter what, Am Yisrael will always be. Why? It's my chosen people because of the Shabbat. On the other hand, what about when somebody doesn't keep Shabbat? You look at the many places in the Torah, whether it's the Gemara Masechet Eruvin, page 69b, or Chulin 5a, or you look even at Halacha from the Rambam, in many places. But one of them, it says that in Ilchot Shabbat, chapter 30, the last Halacha number 15, the Rambam writes that a Jew that desecrates Shabbat is equivalent to an idol worshiper, because Shabbat is the cornerstone of Judaism. It's the cornerstone of the Torah. It's the cornerstone of the Torah. So what does it mean that it's considered an idol worshiper? You go to the Rambam Ilchot Maaseh HaKorbanot, says that when a Jew is a kofer, is an apostate, who worships false gods, or he desecrates Shabbat in public, meaning he drives on Shabbat, he smokes cigarettes on Shabbat, watches TV on Shabbat, and so on, we don't even accept any sacrifices from him at all. Even a burnt offering that's accepted from a goy is not accepted from this mechalel Shabbat or this kofer. Now, this is shocking. Why? Because we know that since the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash, there's no more korbanot, there's no more sacrifices. So the replacement is a prayer. The prayer that we have. So the Rambam is actually saying here that if we had a Beit HaMikdash, we wouldn't even be able to accept a korban from this mechalel Shabbat, which means that if today, since we don't have the Beit HaMikdash, but the prayer of a mechalel Shabbat is not accepted to such an extent that even if you want to count this mechalel Shabbat as part of a minyan, you can't. Why? Because so long as he continues to violate Shabbat, Hashem says, no, he's like an idol worshiper. You can't count him. You can't count him. He's against me. So we see here on one hand, HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells us something amazing. He says that if you keep the Shabbat, you have this special protection. You get reward. You get panasah. Your money will be blessed. You'll have all wonderful things. Why? Because I promised this promise already 3,000 years ago. But it's not if you get the blessing or you don't get the blessing. He says, no. If you keep it, you get the blessing. If not, Hashem yirachem. Hashem yirachem, what kind of curse? Even the prayer of a person. He gets sick, he prays, Hashem says, I'm sorry. I can't. Why? Here, you're violating my Shabbat. You don't have this special protection anymore. So Ashrecha Ezra, Ashrecha Israel, Ashrecha Am Yisrael, that's keeping the Shabbat. Why? Because that means that you are allowing a Kadosh Baruch Hu to give you what he wants to give you. What is it? He wants to give you the blessing. And you're allowing a Kadosh Baruch Hu to give you the blessing. He doesn't want to punish anybody. He doesn't want to. He wants the blessing. And you are allowing him to give you the blessing. Why? Because when he wrote the Torah, He wrote rules. He wrote rules for himself even. You can't give somebody a blessing if they're not doing what the rules say. So by allowing Hashem to actually give you the blessing, it's even more of a blessing. It's double blessing. Why? Because it actually also makes Hashem happy that now He can give you what He wants to give you all along. So Ashrecha Ezra, Ashrecha Am Yisrael, that you keep the Shabbat, that you connect to the Shabbat, and Be'ezrat Hashem, you'll see a lot of blessing. You see a lot of Atzlacha Rabba, Parnasa Tova, Chaim, Arukim, Shlemim, Mileim Torah, Mitzvot, Gemilut Chasadim. Ashrechem Israel, for keeping the Shabbat. Kol Tuv and Shabbat Shalom Mevorach.